I'm so incredibly excited to share this with you today because we're about to dive into this massive, totally perspective-shifting thought experiment. It literally reveals why so many of us are actually poor in time. We call it the $86,400 trap. You know, we spend so much of our lives obsessing over being rich or poor in a purely financial sense, right? We track our dollars, we obsessively balance budgets, we stress out over bank statements. But today, we're going to look at a completely different type of wealth, one that we almost never measure with that same intensity, even though it is infinitely more valuable. So, get ready, because this is going to fundamentally change how you look at the start of your day.
Okay, picture this with me for a second. The number itself, 86,400, is super specific and for a good reason. I want you to sit back and really vividly imagine waking up tomorrow morning, rolling over, checking your banking app, and seeing exactly $86,400 freshly deposited into your checking account. Boom. Just sitting right there. There are absolutely no strings attached to this money. No boss you have to answer to, no taxes taken out. It is just there, waiting for you every single time you open your eyes, like absolute clockwork. I mean, what an absolute dream scenario, right? It just feels like the ultimate freedom.
But, well, you knew this was coming. There's a catch, and this is the urgent, non-negotiable rule of this dream scenario. You cannot save a single cent of it. Zero. Whatever portion of that 86 grand you do not spend by the stroke of midnight just disappears completely. It literally vanishes into thin air. There's no rollover into the next morning. You can't just transfer it to a savings account. You can't invest it in an index fund for tomorrow or, squirrel it away for a rainy day. The balance goes straight to zero at exactly midnight. And then the next day, a completely new deposit arrives.
So here's the absolute crucial question. Would you waste it? I really want to challenge you directly here and ask you to truly, honestly think about this. Would you let a single one of those dollars go unspent? Would you seriously just shrug your shoulders as thousands of dollars evaporated right in front of you at midnight? Yeah, I think we both know the answer to that. No way! You would spend every single dollar, wouldn't you? You'd figure out a way to extract the absolute maximum amount of joy, utility, and value out of every last cent before that clock struck 12. You'd buy things you love, you'd treat your friends, and you'd make absolutely sure nothing went to waste.
Well, here's the crazy part. You actually do get this exact account every single day, but the currency isn't cash. The currency is exactly 86,400 seconds. Every single morning you wake up, you are handed this massive, strictly finite amount of temporal wealth. It's deposited directly into your life. And just like that imaginary bank account, whatever you do not use by midnight is wiped away forever. There are no do-overs. You can't roll those unused Thursday seconds into the weekend. They're yours to spend right now, where you lose them permanently.
And honestly, this just brilliantly highlights the trap we all fall into. Because unlike our hard-earned cash, we treat this currency terribly. How do we waste it? Well, we waste it by just endlessly zombie scrolling through social media feeds, letting our eyes glaze over as the minutes, the precious seconds, just tick away. We waste it by complaining about situations we have absolutely zero intention of actually changing. Or we waste it just waiting. Waiting for the right time to start that big project, or take that trip, or finally reach out to that person. We are literally letting thousands of these completely irreplaceable seconds just vanish into the void every single day, without even a second thought.
When you map out a standard 24-hour day like this, it is honestly a little shocking to realize how massive these slices of wasted time actually are. You can clearly see exactly how huge chunks of our daily deposits simply vanish into passive consumption. As the clock is just spinning out of control, the scrolling, the complaining, the idle waiting, they are completely eating up the very wealth we were freely given just hours before. It's actually kind of agonizing to think about it this way, isn't it? Just realizing that your life's most precious currency is constantly draining out into meaningless, everyday tasks.
So let's contrast these two concepts directly to really hammer this home. Look, the fundamental truth about financial wealth is that it's renewable. If you make a bad investment today and lose $100, you can find a way to earn it back tomorrow. You can negotiate a raise, you can sell something you own, start a side hustle, you can always make more money. But contrast that with time. You can never, ever buy back a single second. Once it ticks past, it is gone forever. Not even the richest billionaire on planet Earth has enough money to buy back yesterday. Our temporal wealth is strictly, unconditionally finite.
Which brings us to this stark, totally undeniable final thought. Money is simply less than time. It doesn't even come close. And faced with this reality, we just can't ignore our daily habits anymore. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative question to chew on long after we're done here. If you would fiercely protect and spend a daily deposit of $86,000, why are you so willing to throw away your 86,000 seconds? When you wake up tomorrow morning and that fresh deposit hits your account, how will you choose to spend it? Thank you so much for exploring this with me, and I'll catch you in the